Hello everyone. Yes, it's me, Tracey Ireland, and boy, am I having a ball playing teacher. That's Torquay TV, made me this wonderful classroom. The professor really challenged me this week. It's good to be stretched sometimes, don't you agree, ladies? He said that I risk being branded as a council basher. The professor agrees that we have no other choice but to shame Torquay Council over its appalling record of neglect and abuse of our poorer communities. But we must also make them understand what they must do to help us. I'll hand over to my wonderful professor.
Thanks, Tracey. So here we are, in your amazing classroom. I am going to tell our viewers what needs to happen to bring justice and recovery to Torquay's forgotten side streets, and overturn those damning statistics about high levels of poverty and deprivation in Torquay. I have also roped in a few friends as well. Tracey, you know that I am a very self-conscious person, especially about the way I speak. I feel like a Welsh drone. So, I have persuaded Dwayne and Monjita to join me on their phones to read some of the content. This is a huge subject, so thank you for agreeing that it can be covered over several sessions. The viewers are welcome to comment on the Facebook pages where we appear.
Oh darling, you know that I'm always up for a few sessions.
My chosen method of delivering this course is andragogy. Pedagogy is the way children at school learn. I am not treating any of our viewers like children at school. This talk is aimed at adults. There's not any talking down to people.
Don't confuse me with all your big words, darling. I am but a simple girl, and a single mother from Warren Road. Just give it to me, any way you want.
I think we'll move swiftly on now, Tracey. It's time to hear from my good friend Monjita, who I can see is currently in Warren Road.
Hello everyone. The professor has asked me to read this out. The first thing that must happen before any debilitating disease or a chronic situation of any kind can truly start to get better, is that the person suffering must openly admit that they have the problem. Denial is never a solution. In Torquay, there is this very long tradition of trying to hide our poor, working class and disadvantaged, sometimes even treating them like a dirty secret, to be kept out of sight and not spoken of. Torquay Council and their business chums dislike any mention of the homelessness, the drugs crisis on our streets, the dreadful private sector housing, and even areas with low mortality rates. Denial remains the council's key attempt at trying to protect the profit margins of the all-powerful tourism, business and commercial sector.
Torquay Council doesn't seem to grasp that people who come to Torquay as a visitor experience our shamefully run-down places and risk going home disappointed. A lot of people who come here use Fleet Walk car park to visit the waterfront and shops. An approach to this multi-story facility is along Rock Road. This street welcomes people with a derelict laundry site on one side, disused buildings, overflowing bins and graffiti on the other, and right opposite the entrance to the car park itself is a row of old terraced houses, mainly subdivided into poor quality private rented housing, where the tenants must store their rubbish on the street.
There's constant fly tipping of beds, wardrobes, settees, televisions, washing machines and other sorts of unwanted belongings sourced from the high levels of transiency. The council reportedly spent £27 million buying Fleet Walk shopping centre but have done nothing about the dire housing and poor state of Rock Road. Can't they see how we welcome visitors and treat our locals?
Oh sorry Professor, I forgot the time. I know that I promised to read your talk on Tracey's show, but I'm still waiting outside of Carter's. I urgently need some lucky scratch cards. They only let 3 people into the shop at a time. I agree with that. They are simply trying to protect us all from coronavirus. Sorry, but everything is taking a lot longer. The virus is messing me about. I'm not sure about the vaccine, but I don't suppose they will offer it to me.
Dwayne, my friend, you are so utterly chaotic. If you could only face up to your gambling addiction, and Torquay Council can actually admit in the Herald Express that the problems of poverty and deprivation in this town are totally unacceptable. We will all think that we have died and gone to heaven.
I'm afraid Dwayne is often unreliable. When people are plagued by addictions like he is, they struggle to engage positively. The Herald Express likes to produce headlines that imply corporates and big business are Torquay's savior. Their idea is that poorer people will all get given jobs and dig themselves out of their own poverty trap. Yet, we know there are many people who could not hold down a job. I think Dwayne is on a sticky wicket at the town hall, where he carries files and papers between the offices.
The theory that business and capitalism has all the answers comes from right-wing political ideology. It is far too simplistic to stand up. Torquay's social deprivation affects everyone, and it's a major stain on the integrity of our current leaders. The wind of change for me will be signalled when Torquay Council espouses that it's not acceptable to support a culture that abandons vulnerable people, alongside drug dealers, petty criminals, and those fresh out of prison, who get offered tenancies in Torquay by local private landlords, without any support to reduce their chance of failing.
You have just been listening to the wonderful Professor Dane from Abbey Road. Do you know, I can't wait to grapple with his next part. I felt myself soaking up his words. My classroom will always be ready and waiting for him. Fans, don't you just love these flowers? I get so many wonderful things sent to me each week. I am so grateful, because I am still hiding from drug dealer, Glasgow Gordon, at my Auntie Joan's house in Rock Road. I woke up this morning, only to find that pussy of hers rubbing against my face.